Hello, I am Michael Corleone. I am the owner of Kayo Boxing here in West Hempstead, New York. Having a fighter's heart doesn't mean what you can or cannot do in the ring. Boxing is the epitome of life. And what I mean by that is that life will knock you down. Your job is to get up, brush yourself off, and go forward. I was born in Marine Park, Brooklyn. My parents wanted a better life for their kids, so we moved out to Long Island, New York. I decided to join the Navy before I graduated high school. Why the Navy? Because the Navy had the U.S. Navy SEALs. I didn't just want to be a Green Beret or a trooper. I wanted to be the best of the best. My father was the owner of a clothing factory, and from early on, I learned how to be a leader because of him. In high school, I was co-captain of the wrestling team. I was captain of the track team, lacrosse. So I always knew how to be a leader. And I wanted to become, the best SEAL I could become. Unfortunately for me, they did not explain to me what the requirements were to be a SEAL. The testing that you had to do. Push-ups, sit-ups, running. I ran a 4:36 mile. So when I tell you I ran, I mean I ran. So when you have to take the SEAL test, you had to swim breaststroke or side stroke. You had to do 500 yards in 7 minutes. I did it in 7:05. They don't let you take the test twice. So I had breaststroke the whole way because I didn't know how to, like I said, I was from Brooklyn. I didn't know how to do the side strokes. Needless to say, I did not get to go to SEAL training, but I did qualify to become either an EOD diver or a deep sea diver. So I didn't know what deep sea diving meant, but I knew that EOD diver meant working with explosives underwater. Nah, no thank you, not for me. So I went into the deep sea dive program, at which I was third in my class. For my bad luck, the first time they were going to allow a female to enter the school. She could not pass any of the requirements to get into the school, except for swim. She swam like a dolphin, but she couldn't do the push-ups, sit-ups. So already, I'm a little annoyed because I passed everything with 100 percentile, but the swim I failed by a lousy 5 seconds. So I was a little annoyed. One day, she was giving me some business, and I got annoyed, and I called her a bad word. But she was in E4, and I was only in E3. So needless to say, I got booted. And that was pretty much the end of my Navy career. So when I got out, I said, what am I going to do now? My father offered me a job in his clothing factory to learn the production aspects of it. So he said, I want you to come to Puerto Rico, and I want you to head up the production portion of the factory. I said, okay, Dad, I'll go. I was there about 2 months, and I was out running. As I said, I was a cross-country runner. And I finished my run in the middle of the town square. On this particular day, they were having a boxing exhibition. Some guy comes up to me and says, hey kid, you ever boxed before? No. You want to fight? Yeah, okay. I was a pretty tough kid, and I said, I'll fight anybody. So I get in the ring. Turns out I was fighting their amateur champion. They was setting the gringo up to get murdered. So the guy says to me, when you get knocked out, don't feel bad. Knocked out, by knocking me out, pal. Yeah, we'll see about that. Okay. I get in the ring, and the guy punches me in the nose. Gives me a bloody nose. I looked at him, oh, okay. Boom, 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 boom. I ended up TKOing him in the second round. All of a sudden now I'm, a little bit of a big shot. So everybody kept asking my father, when's he gonna fight next? Where's he gonna train? I said, Dad, come on, let me fight. No, son, you're gonna learn how to work as a businessman. Okay, Dad. So people kept calling my father and asking my father to let me fight. It took almost a year, but eventually my father said, okay. Turned out that the trainer that he took me to had 17 world champions under his belt. The second guy I ever sparred was a world champion, a current world champion at that time. And don't get it wrong, they whooped my butt. But every time they whooped my butt, I kept going, okay, let's do this again. So when you ask me what's the definition of a fighter, I guess that would be the definition of a fighter. Because I didn't walk in there beating people up right away. I got my butt whooped and I just kept coming back. Now I do the butt whooping. 2003, I got married and I had my first son, Dominic. In February of 2004, I said, you know, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do, you know. I was a personal trainer, I was training boxing, aerobic classes. And I wanted to be proud of something. I didn't feel I could be proud of working in just any other gym. I wanted to have my own place. I wanted to have a place I could say was mine and, you know, raise my son in. And I said, let me open up a gym. Why? Because it's all I love to do, you know. And my father said it once, if you like what you do or you love what you do, you'll never work a hard day in your life. So I'm here now 18 and a half years. I've never worked a hard day yet. Most of my career, I've come up through the PAL programs. Because truth be told, I didn't have two nickels to rub together. I could not afford, like my membership here to my gym is $165 a month. $165 a month? I couldn't afford $5 a month if it was a gym membership. See, I would love to have a PAL program and at the same time still feed my family. So if I got the grant, I would like to find more underprivileged kids. Not necessarily those that have disabilities, although that certainly, as you have seen, you know, affects me deeply. But I love to work with kids. There's plenty of kids out there that, you know, their moms and dads are both working. They're hard pressed to spend the dollar, and they can't find the extra money to send their kid to a school like this. When I train people here, I'm not looking to train the next world champion, although I would love to do that. I'm looking to train the person to adapt to survive, and I don't mean by fighting, I mean just learning how to handle life. People always say, oh, well, you know, I don't want to send my kid to boxing because I want him to learn how to fight and beat people up. It's not about that. It's about learning how to deal with an obstacle and going around it or over it.